Hello students, today I am going to talk about the migration that has been reported in the Hindu newspaper today. So recently, International Labour Organization has released World Migration Report 2022. And the findings of the World Migration Report is that there are 281 million international migrants in the world, and two-thirds of this 281 million are labor migrants. But the point here is that approximately 40% of the migrants are from South Asian region. And therefore it is very important for us to understand the migrant issues from the India's perspective. But before that, I just want to tell you that what are the patterns of migration from India outside, that is from India to the other countries. So in the terms of pattern, you will find out the pattern is being governed by the economic factor, by the demographic factor, by the geographical factor. And why I am telling that the demographic, geographical and economic factor is deciding the international migrant, you will feel whenever you will understand that in North America, the people from three important regions are migrating here. That is from Gujarat, that is from South Indian state, and that is from Punjab. So it means that in the terms of geography, the people from these three states are migrating to North America. Now, if I look into from the demographic perspective, then most of the youngs are migrating to North India for the education and for the employment purpose, and also for having their own business. Therefore, North America is being dominated by the migrants who are interested in the white collar job. Now, if you will see in the Gulf countries, so people either from the South India or from the North India are migrating to the Gulf countries, but they are looking for the blue collar jobs only. They are not going for education to the Gulf countries, but for the low skilled jobs. Now, the third, in the terms of geography, if you will say, the third is European countries. Here, people generally from only northern part of the country is migrating for the education and the employment purpose. If you will see the trend of migration, then again you will feel it has a religious trend also. However, it is not, I am not making a very general statement, I am just telling a observation on a larger scale that mostly the Sikh people are migrating to Canada. Mostly the people who are the followers of Islam religion are migrating to the West Asian countries. But it is not that the Hindus are not migrating to the West Asian countries, but largely the people from the Muslim community are migrating to the Gulf countries. So this is the pattern of migration from our country to outside. Now we will see that what are the challenges that they are facing. Because the very first challenge I will say, and I will relate it to the kafala system, which is being practiced in the West Asian countries, mainly in the countries of Gulf Cooperation Council, and also in Lebanon, Jordan, Bahrain, Qatar, and all this. So what is this kafala system? First you should know. Kafala system is a kind of a sponsorship permit. Kafala system is kind of a sponsorship permit which is being given by the government to the employer so that they can hire a foreign labor. But what the employer is doing, employer is hiring it through the private organization, and the problem starts from here. So now, if you have understood the kafala system, the problem which is emanating from the kafala system is the very first, restricted movement and communication. What is happening here is that the sponsor is confiscating your passport, your visa, your phone, and employing you for the domestic work and thus restricting it within the household. The second problem is of debt bondage. Because under kafala system, the government is asking for the recruitment fees. The government is asking for the recruitment fees from the employer. Rather, the employer is giving the recruitment fees. He is passing this fees to the worker. So the question arises कि worker पैसा लाएगा कहां से? वो तो खुद ही नौकरी करने गया है. So worker will ask for a loan from the employer, and now they are in the circle of debt bondage. This is the problem. Third is the forced labor. So we all know that the working hour is not 8 hours there. They are forcing the laborers to work for 12 hours, 14 hours, and sometimes it has been observed that they are working continuously for 2 days. In the mid of the 2 days, they are getting a sleep of 2 hours, 3 hours. They are not getting adequate food. They are living in a slum-like area. These are the problems that they are facing there. Now, visa trading is another problem. What is this visa trading? What is happening that, for example, तुम आज गए वहां, तुम चले गए Saudi Arab, just for an example. Now, after working there for 1 year, now a sponsor is illegally selling your visa to the another employer. मान लो कि तुम कंपनी ए में काम करते हो, कंपनी ए का जो स्पॉन्सर है वो तुम्हारे वीजा को कंपनी बी को बेच दिया. नाउ कंपनी बी विल हैव अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ अरेंजमेंट्स विथ यू. यहां पर मान लो कंपनी ए में जब तुम काम करते थे तो 8 घंटे, 9 घंटे, 10 घंटे मैक्सिमम काम करते थे, वहां 12 घंटे काम करना पड़ रहा है. तो योर वीजा हैज बीन इलीगली सोल्ड. अब तुम कुछ कर भी नहीं सकते. यू विल हैव टू वर्क देयर. So this is the problem of visa trading. Now, human rights violation. Obviously, when your right to movement is restricted, when you are not being provided with the adequate food, good sanitation, good living condition, your human rights is being violated. Then judicial system. The question is where you will go once your rights have been infringed. So you will go to the judiciary. So the transparency is completely lacking in the judicial system of the West Asian countries. And then grievance redressal is completely absent. Whatever the problem you have faced or whatever the problem you are facing there is no any grievance redressal institution who can look into these challenges being faced by the migrants. Now the government has also realized that the chunk of the population is going to the West Asian countries and they are sending remittances and all, and they are not being provided with the adequate welfare measures. And therefore the government has brought a bill to bring an amendment in the Immigration Act. So the bill is all about Immigration Bill 2022. We will see that what government is trying to do for bringing a reform in the system to check the exploitation of the migrants people. So the very first thing, the government is setting some of the authorities. So the very first authority is here. The authority which is being set up is Immigration Division. Immigration Division. Then there is a desk which they are opening. Then there is a welfare committees that they are opening. Along with this, there is an International Immigration Division, International Immigration Policy and Planning Authority. So basically what is happening here, try to understand. So International Immigration Policy Planning Authority will frame the policies and will also negotiate on labor and social protection standards with the country where the migrants from India are moving. Now what this International Immigration Division will do? International Immigration Division will have the database of all the people who are moving there and what kind of welfare schemes government can brought for them. This division will look into this. Then human resource agencies are there. It is required that they must be registered themselves with the competent authority for 5 years, and government can cancel their registration in any time on the number of options, or you can say on the various factors if they are violating the provisions of the Immigration Act. Accreditation of employer. So basically, if you are going outside, then you will be employed by the employer, then that must be accredited here, and this accreditation will also be provided for 5 years only. After that, again the renewal can happen. Then there are nodal committees in the state that will focus upon the skill development, that will focus upon briefing them before their departure from the state about the welfare measures that the government has taken, about the issues that they can face, about the solutions that is there by the government of India to check the issues or challenges. So this is all about the today's editorial. However, today's editorial is silent on Immigration Bill. I have discussed with you. However, it is tabled in the parliament and not yet passed. So that's all about the editorial on the World Migration Report. Thanks to all of you.